All right, guys, welcome to the Overtime Podcast. Vince Delicio here, joined by my old friend, Coach Lucas Ramirez, and joining us for a special interview tonight, an appearance joined by St. Mary's Gales College head men's basketball coach, Randy Bennett. Coach Bennett, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Excited to be on. Look forward to doing this thing, and hopefully I can get myself in the picture here.
You're doing great, Coach. Coach, I wanted to kick things off and more or less just talk to you about the longevity of your career at St. Mary's. When in an age when coaches kind of come and go, how have you been able to do it so long there?
You know, it's just happened. I don't know. You're I wasn't like some master plan. Let me go to St. Mary's and I'm going to do my whole career here. It just sometimes things just work. And I know when I got the job, I tell people this all the time. It's not out of me humility or anything. It's just I was so lucky to get the job here. And it's so hard to get a job. And people back then, because I'd inherited a program that was down, real down. They said, "Why'd you take that job?" And I was like, because it's the only one I could get. And that was, at the time, that was the case. And then St. Mary, I just kind of lucked into it. Like, I got it, and then it was a good fit for me. That's the school, the way that school is and what it's about. I mean, that's kind of, that aligns with how I think it should be. And people have been good to me here, and it's worked out well. And we just kept getting better and better, and good player and good person, right? You know, every year, a lot of them. So it's just I've been blessed, and so if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I've stayed, and it's been a good decision for me.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Coach, I'll ask you a question related to Arizona. Obviously, you have so many great ties to the state of Arizona. We won't talk basketball here. Where are your favorite places to go in the Valley when you're able to make it into town?
I can't say the Salt River, right?
we can count that.
No, the Phoenix Mesa area, that's just home for me. I always thought I would come back. I mean, when I left, I was born and raised there, you know, played there, whole deal. I just always expected that I would be back, and it never worked out. And St. Mary's did. So it's I love going back there. My dad still lives there. I have a bunch of friends there, and you know, I think when it's all said and done, I'll probably retire there. So it's yeah, Arizona's home. It's home, and it always will be home. And it's a great place for me to grow up. And I know a lot of those coaches over there, and I've recruited a lot of kids from there. So anyhow, I don't know, home's home.
Love it.
Coach, speaking of your dad, and this picture look familiar here to you?
I get it.
You're so you played for your dad at Mesa Community College. What was that experience like, and how did that help you in developing into the young player that you turned into you know, upon leaving Mesa?
Yeah, it was a big factor. It's something I didn't really even think about when I was growing up. You know, you're just growing up. That's where I grew up in that house, and that was my dad, and so that's what I was around all the time. But what little did I know, all the stuff I was seeing and taking in eventually would give me a nice jump start as far as going into coaching. But I played at Westwood High School. Played for a really good coach. His name is Bud Doolin, and a great guy. He's really good for me in a lot of ways. And being a coach's son, you know, I needed a good coach other than my father to learn from. And so he was key on that. And then I played for my dad, who was a very good coach, and he had to do double duty there. But I played for him at Mesa Community College for 2 years, and it was a good experience. I didn't really think about the father-son thing that much when I was playing for him. I was just trying to get minutes. I was trying to help team win games. So and there was a dynamic there that, it's a little tricky because you want to play because you deserve to play, and that was always the case for me because my first year I came off the bench for a lot, the whole season. We had a really good team, and we had a couple sophomore guys that were better than me. So I went through all that, learned a lot through that, and then through that whole course of things, I as you know, I played for and met Roy Shuri, who at that time was coaching high school, and he was voted the top coach of the century in Arizona with the top high school teams of the century anyhow at that time. And so between those three guys, when I was growing up and playing, those guys were huge influences on me, and it's lasted me till now. It's been probably the biggest impact on me as a coach.
It's awesome. Coach, obviously in the recent years, there's all this talk with NIL and everything that's gone on, right? You guys have talked about it all the time the last few years in college sports. How have you guys at your institution kind of tried to remain relevant in that conversation while at the same time, sticking to your values and the culture that you've built over the last, 20 plus years?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's one I think about every single day. And it's just how it is now. It's kind of, I think just like anything in life, you got to get your attitude right on it. It would be easy to get frustrated and all that, but that's not going to do you any good. It's changed. So you have to adjust how you approach things, and including the business, because this is the business now. So we have not really changed the way we run our program, coach our kids, develop players. Our program's always been a big player development program. It's always been tight relationships with our player to player, coach to coach, and player to coach. And we build our teams based on that. I mean, we have a really tight program, and it goes back, and fortunately I've been here for 25 years. So you have guys coming back and you learn from it. So we haven't changed much there. You can't, I have a couple things on the landscape we're living in now as a coach and a program is you have to get players. You got to accumulate good players, and then you have to coach the heck out of them. You have to get guys. Part of getting good players for us is getting guys who really want to let you coach them hard and want to get good, and we're not dealing with all the negatives that can be there. And then the third thing is it's year to year. It's not like you can do your little depth chart for 4 years like you used to and say, oh, this guy's a freshman, we'll have him at that position and this guy at that position for the next 3-4 years. It's not like that. You have to do it year to year, and you get your kids to buy into, hey, I'm in this thing 10 toes down for this year, no matter what. And I'm going to help this team be as good as they can be. And I think what you really had to double down on as a coach now is your leadership with your team and with your players and with your coaching staff. And so that's kind of where we're living. We're living in that little niche there. And it's worked thus far for us. We're not bulletproof. I mean, we've lost kids. Shoot, we've lost a couple of good kids. But for the most part, we've been able to retain our players and then we go and get high school freshmen and develop them, and they may not play. And you have to tell them that when you recruit them. I think all that stuff, like I said, the leadership piece is huge. You have to explain to those kids, hey, we think you're going to be good, but we're going to program that it's going to be hard for you to play as a freshman. You'll play, but it's going to take a while. Sometimes we'll get a freshman that'll start for us. Not very often though. And but eventually they'll get in there, and then this is their program. This is their home, and they fight for you. And hopefully you have enough money in NIL to retain guys. I think that's our best bet. It's worked thus far, but it's something you have to adapt to every year. You don't know for sure. I don't know for sure what it's going to look like next year. And this thing, this thing came out of nowhere. If you would have told me 6 years ago this is what it's going to look like in 6 years, I would have said you're crazy. But it happened, and so we got to adapt. And the people at St. Mary's really helped. They've listened to what we feel like we need to have happen to work here, and we're not going to be the top of the salary scale here, but you're gonna to keep a good player, to retain a good player, you're gonna have to have some money, and that's kind of how we've done it, and try and work within that budget to keep our best players.
Coach, if I'm watching St. Mary's basketball, what is one word that I would use to describe your team?
Together. That was a tough question. I only have one word.
Yeah, that's one word. And one thing, and obviously you're happy with the community, with the school. You've been there for going on 25 years now. If there was one thing that you could change to bring it next level, even more than where you are right now, what could it be? Like something that's been on your wish list?
I would say we've done a lot of good things, and we've kind of done it piece by piece. Every 3 years, 2 or 3 years, we make an improvement, and they haven't all happened at once. And from when I started 25 years ago till now, I mean, it's a different place. But the one thing, if we could get it done before I retire from here, is I'd like to fix our gym and add some seats and make it a little better. It's good, and it's a tough place to play, but I'd like to enhance it and make it a little bigger and put in seating. And I think this place it's a great place. I think it'd be a super cool gym. It already is, and it's a hard place for teams to come in and play and beat us. But that's the one thing I think that I'd like to see done before I leave.
Awesome. Coach, I really appreciate myself, Lucas. We appreciate you jumping on tonight. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Overtime Podcast, and we wish you luck the rest of the season.
Ben, reaching out to me. If I can ever help again, let me know. And I'll get in Phoenix. Let's hook up.
Let's do it. Great. Thanks, Coach. Have a great one.
Thanks so much, Coach. Appreciate it.
All right. Take care.